Hey, everybody. Welcome in to this Friday night, or evening, I guess, should say. Friday evening, November 7th edition of 270 Weather. Weather for the 270 area code and beyond. I'm Chris Allen, and been watching the storms this afternoon. But, they're moving out, gradually coming to an end. There were a couple of strong storms, but as far as severe weather, even though for a time there was a tornado watch out for some of our southern tier counties, none of that produced anything that was, you know, really severe. And I kind of knew even around 9 o'clock this morning when I did News 40 at 9 and then News 40 at noon, it just there wasn't a whole lot of support there for an event that was going to be one of these where you have to pace the floor and stay up all night and, you know, not a big deal. But there were some strong storms and, we said that there would be some that produce maybe some brief, excuse me, brief gusty winds, and maybe even some hail. And that was certainly the case. And torrential downpours, along with some strikes of lightning and rumbles of thunder. But most of that now is over with, which is good. And it's moving out of the area. In fact, I'll show you right now the way it looks. Let me take down the banners here so that you can see what's going on. And there we go. Everything is now moving off to the east. And the tornado watch that was in effect for places like Allen, Monroe, Cumberland County, that has since been lifted. But you go over to Albany or Albany over in Clinton County, you still have a tornado watch that will most likely be lifted here in the next little bit. Now, it was supposed to end or expire at 10 o'clock this evening, but all of this is moving pretty fast and is weakening. There is a little special weather statement over in Clinton County for a strong thunderstorm there. Not a warning, but it is strong, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Winds are gusting up to 40, and there's some pea-size hail. But that's it. Again, these are just a few strong storms. We can zoom in and take a look. And you can see that, just north of Albany, maybe as you're traveling 127 or Highway 90 between Burkesville and over toward Monticello, that is where you see a lot of lightning strikes as well. But none of this has the look of anything real serious. I'll even turn on the velocity, and I'm not seeing anything that would indicate some gate-to-gate shear. There has been a little bit of shear with some of these storms, and I mentioned that this morning. If you were watching News 40 Sunrise or the 9 a.m. or noon shows. But as far as it being really anything significant, no. Now, this tornado watch will continue for these southeastern Kentucky counties a little bit longer, over toward the Daniel Boone National Forest once you get over toward, Laurel County and those areas. But it's moving out pretty quickly. In fact, I'll just put this into motion, and you can see that things are beginning to weaken. And the main reason is, well, there's two of them. One is we're moving into a little bit more stability, and that is because we're now at nightfall. At 6:43, it's dark 30, as I call it, because now sunset happens a little after 4:30, about 4:45, a little bit before 5 p.m. So, once you get past sunset, you lose any kind of instability that would help fire these things up. But these still have a number of lightning strikes that you can see there around Monticello and Albany. And as you head further east, so the Weather Service is hanging on to that watch just a little bit longer, but look for it to expire here pretty soon. Burkesville now, you're starting to clear up, and everybody to the west is starting to clear up as well. In fact, just west of Bowling Green, here is the clearing line, and it's pretty much done. This system is pretty much done. So if you're, worried about more in the way of bad weather, it's over. Over for the 270. Now, parts of the 606, you're still getting some activity, but it is moving east. And this is the satellite view as well. And you see clearing back to the west. There's the cold front that is coming through now, and it's going to come through in the next few hours. And that will essentially shut off any kind of rain. It will scrub out the clouds, and things will clear up tonight. That's going to set us up for fog. There will be some dense fog, I think, overnight tonight and into early Saturday morning. But tomorrow, tomorrow, your Saturday looks fabulous. So if you're going to maybe do something outside, or you've got some kind of an event planned for tomorrow, you are A-OK. It's going to be sunny, maybe close to 70 for a high temperature. The really wintry type weather, the Arctic blast that is coming, is not going to happen until Sunday. So you've got all day tomorrow to do the things that you want to do. And that is certainly a good thing, I think, for most everybody. But I do want to talk at length about some of the nasty Arctic air that is going to come in, and I'm going to do that here in just a moment. First of all, let's check the numbers from today, and then we'll pick that up and move on. 69, we almost made 70 for a high temperature today. 6 degrees warmer than the normal of 63. Now, that normal high, we're still in the process of it coming down little by little as we go through each day, because the days are getting shorter, the nights are getting longer. Naturally, those daytime highs, nighttime lows are going to continue to fall. But what's coming in this weekend, late this weekend, is an Arctic blast. And I know on some of the networks, I was watching them this morning, they're all this, polar vortex, and they love using those. Let me just say something about that. Let me just clarify something. Okay. Look, come back to me. Okay. Here we go. Polar vortex. Let me explain. The polar vortex is not something that just happens and then it's almost like they treat it like it's a big monster, and it's just going to come down and it's just going to punch us with the cold air. And it's like this thing. Oh, have you heard the polar vortex is coming our way? The polar vortex is always there. North Pole, Northern Hemisphere. Polar vortex is there even in the summer. What we're going to get is a piece of it, a little piece of it. And it's going to shoot down into our area as we get into Sunday night, into Monday. But when you hear them describe it on the news networks, and even even our networks, NBC, CBS, they're all doing it. CNN, the whole deal. Polar vortex, and it's in a big circle, and it's like, oh my God, this thing is coming. Santa from the North Pole is sending this big thing down our way. It's always there. We're just going to get a piece of it. So don't be afraid. Don't think this is, some kind of crazy new thing that's happening. It's always been there. But in the wintertime, pieces of that polar vortex, that deep, deep, deep cold air, pieces of it can come down our direction. And that is what's going to happen. Okay? All right. Well, if it's going to get that cold, then we need to talk about your heating system, your HVAC. And our good sponsor, R&R Controls, is ready to service you should you need help with your heat. Now, today and tomorrow, today I can feel the AC in my home working just fine. Tomorrow, I'll probably use it again because we're going to get near 70. But when Sunday night comes around, I guarantee your system is going to have to do the switch, because you're going to go to your thermostat and you're going to go, whew, I got to shut off the cool air. And I'm going to put it over in heat mode. Let's just switch over to heat mode. Some of you will do the emergency heat mode. It's about the same, but it's a little different. But the folks at R&R Controls are capable of not only fixing your heating problems, but they can show you how to best be more efficient with your heating cooling system, your HVAC, because they have done this for 40 years. And they have the technicians and the people that can take care of it, so that when you switch from cool or AC to heat, it works. And you don't see maybe smoke coming out of your ventilation, or you smell a dead mouse. I've had that happen before. It's not good. When the heating elements hit something that's dead or caught in your ventilation fan, I've had that happen too, and had to have the whole thing replaced. Ugh. Yeah, it's not good. So call R&R Controls or hit them up on their website. You can send them a message there at rnrhvac.com. Or there's the phone number at the top, 270-777-2024. And even though it's the weekend, I'm sure somebody will reply. 270-777-2024. Because with R&R Controls, you will never be without heating, cooling, ventilation, and generators if you need it. Thank goodness today we did not need it. Thank you, R&R Controls, for everything you do. Okay, so now I'm going to go from the radar, and we'll step through the different maps here. We'll go first to the Kentucky Mesonet Network, and we'll take a look at what's happened today and what's happening at the moment. I can even turn on their radar imagery so you can see here out to the south and east where the rains are and where things are starting to clear up, like back here to the west. Now, this is not rain. This is just anomaly. This is just radar clutter, okay? But all of this is rain and thunderstorms out east of us. We're now in the 60s. There's a few 50s showing up. Let me turn this off. Temperatures today, maximum temperatures. There were some 70s, and that's why over in the Cumberland Plateau in the southeastern part of the 270, and when you move over into the 606, you guys had more of a severe weather threat because you did get into the 70s. Your dew points were in the 60s. In fact, let's look. Dew points are well into the 60s pretty much everywhere, but the clouds that we had this morning over the Bowling Green, Southern Kentucky area, much of the 270, kept us from seeing any severe weather this afternoon. But you guys to the east had a little bit more sun, and that's why you picked up some of the stronger storms. How much rain? Well, let's take a look. Half inch of rain at the Ag Expo Center, WKU, a third of an inch up at the Corvette plant, over a half inch in Scottsville, Allen County, 8/10 of an inch in Barron County. You've got a third of an inch plus over in Morgantown, a third of an inch in Russellville, almost that much in Franklin, quarter inch in Tompkinsville, about a half inch in Metcalfe County, in Edmonton, a third of an inch in Munfordville, Hart County. But here is the target. The big target was parts of Greene. Now, that's one of the newer mesonet stations. It's maybe a month, 2 months old, something like that, but it's one of the newer stations they put in Greene County near Greensburg, 1.5 inches plus, and a little over an inch in Columbia in Adair County, 7/10 of an inch of rain in Campbellsville up in Taylor County, almost an inch there in Liberty in Casey County, and then lighter amounts out east. But this was from the stronger storms where we had the better instability, and man, did it rain. So there was some good rainfall there. We take a look at winds currently here at 655. Winds are coming out of the west now, behind the cold front. But here's the thing. Once this front passes through, we're really not going to get colder air. Not yet. This cold front was just bringing us the rain. Behind it, we're still going to get more of a southwesterly wind flow tomorrow, and that's going to shoot us back up to 70 with the sunshine. So, yeah, I mean, we did warm pretty well today, and I think we'll do it again tomorrow. But the front, now that it's about to move through, is going to shut off the rain and clear out the skies overnight and give us a good day tomorrow. Let's look at rainfall over the next 7 days. And this counts a little bit of what we're picking up right now, but some of this is what we're going to see coming in tomorrow night and into Sunday morning, because after that, after we get past, say, Sunday evening, we're going to be dry. We're going to be dry for pretty much, it looks like, all of next week. So what we're seeing here is some of tonight and tomorrow and into Sunday evening with, some, quarter inch with some half-inch amounts in the southeastern corner of Kentucky and the hills and the hollers east of us. And yes, there is a snow chance. So you're saying there's a chance. Yes, I am. And let's take a look at that. And here we go. Now, this is a blend of models. It's kind of like the model blender that I show you at the end of my broadcast every night. And, I show you the temperatures, but I don't necessarily show you things like this. This is for primarily Sunday night, the blend of models all together. This is what the output is showing. And as you can see, for most of us in the 270, we're just talking about flurries, snow flurries, the kind that just fly by. It's pretty to look at. But as far as impact on roads, As far as accumulation, I don't foresee that happening here in the Bowling Green area or much of the 270. Now, the further east you go, there could be a dusting. Once you get up, say, toward Metro Louisville, maybe E-Town, maybe Shepherdsville, places like that, Mount Sterling, over that way. And then down toward maybe Burkesville, Albany, Russell Springs, Jamestown, you may get a dusting of snow Sunday night, enough to, get on some of the grassy areas and maybe your car roof or maybe even the roof of your home where it's cool enough. That could happen. But I still don't believe it's going to be an impact on the roads because it's going to be too warm. The roads are going to be too warm and the ground is going to be too warm. So you may see a little bit here and there, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal until you go far to the east. As you see there's a 1 inch plus in some of the darker grays. Once you head up, say, toward Lexington and then over toward Ashland, Huntington, you get into West Virginia, we're talking about some places seeing 2 to 4 inches. Now, that's where you could have some impact. Look all the way down, though, down there, like in far eastern Tennessee and western North Carolina. There's going to be a section there in the Smokies that could see 5 or maybe 6 inches of snow. But that's mostly higher elevation stuff. So that's what I'm looking at for Sunday night, besides the bitter cold and the wind chills into the teens. There's likely to be some snowflakes flying around, the first flakes of this fall season. So I believe it's coming, and I don't think it's going to be, for us, that big of a deal. Okay? All right, let's go back to our maps, and we'll proceed on to the actual surface maps. And here we go. Here's the current scenario with the showers and the thunderstorms and any severe weather now moving out or dying off. Here comes the cold front. It's just about to Hopkinsville and almost to Bowling Green at this point. So it's going to come on through and go east. Yes, I do think, as we're seeing already, skies clearing west of Bowling Green, and with the cool, damp ground, because we're going to get into the mid-40s tonight, that's cool enough to cause some patchy fog to develop. Some of it could be pretty thick late tonight and early tomorrow. So if you get up early Saturday morning, just understand, look at this, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, look at all the fog. My goodness. Would not surprise me if in the morning we get a dense fog advisory with visibility less than a quarter mile in many locations. Okay. We move on. Here's Saturday, midday, noon. Perfect. Like I said, tomorrow's going to be outstanding, but it's going to be the last of the maybe 70-degree days with sunshine and hours of just doing whatever you want outdoors without it being, bad. So take advantage of tomorrow. It's going to be nice. Now we get into Saturday evening, and here comes the next front. Pretty fast. Clipper systems that they just they don't linger. They just move right on through. So by tomorrow evening, we will begin to see another chance of showers. And it's about 50% coverage. And some of you could pick up maybe, well, let's just say less than 1/10 of an inch. I don't think it's going to be any more than that because this is going to be a fast moving system. So it's not going to linger. Therefore, we're not going to get that much in the way of accumulation. But what that front right there is going to do It's going to start the process of the much colder Arctic air being drawn in back behind it. Let me show you that. Here is Sunday morning. The front moves into eastern Kentucky, lingering showers as you get up Sunday morning. But look what's happening back to the west. Leftover moisture changes the rain to a mix. That's what the purple is. And then the blue is snow. We're talking St. Louis. We'll get some snow into Missouri, even back toward, say, Springfield, Joplin, those areas. We'll get a mix. We'll start out as rain Sunday morning, but as temperatures plummet during the day on Sunday, here it comes. Here we go. 6 p.m. Sunday evening, we begin to see either snowflakes or little ice pellets mixing in with the rain. Again, this is not anything that's going to make an impact. I don't believe it's going to make an impact on roads. It'll be wet. The road temperatures will be too warm. Even the ground temperatures will be too warm. So when it falls, it's just going to melt on contact, except for where we get enough cold air, like east of us. That's where, as I showed you, you could see a dusting up to an inch or more the further east you go. Let's go into Monday morning, and this is when the coldest air is around, and look at this. It is all snowflakes because temperatures by then will be in the 20s with a wind chill in the teens. So Monday morning, when you get up to go to work, it's going to be nasty. It's going to be winter. It's going to be more like January or February. It's going to be like that. But again, this looks like, oh, look how much it's, well, let's get back to it there. It jumped on me. Where'd it go? There it is. So Monday morning, this looks ominous and it looks like, look at all that snow, but it's not much. It's not much. It's not going to be much, but it will snow. But then it's out of here. Look at this. It's out of here as we go through the day on Sunday or Monday. Here's 6 a.m. Tuesday, and it's cold. As skies clear, we're going to be back down into the mid-20s with wind chills in the teens as we start the day Tuesday. But look back here. With high pressure building in, the winds, this indicates equal lines of pressure, the isobars, indicate that there will be a southwest wind. And that, with the sunshine on Tuesday, will begin to moderate our temperatures. It'll get warmer, especially Wednesday. Here comes a warm front. How about that? So we'll go from the 50s into the 60s by Wednesday and Thursday. There's high pressure taking over. Everything looks good, sunny Thursday and dry. Same for Friday, nothing happening. So we just have to get through the next few days and this weekend, and then things will begin to change and will begin to warm up. And you can see it here with the blend of models. And there we go. One more nice, warm fall day tomorrow with the high being at 70. Then we go down to 42. But notice we only get up into the upper 40s Sunday. Throughout the day, the winds are going to pick up and it's going to be a chilly wind. And that's when the temperatures will start to fall during the day on Sunday. And as we get down to 26 Sunday night, any leftover moisture from the rain will mix or change over to snow. Cold enough? Yes. Hard freeze? Yes. It is going to, if you still have any vegetation out there that's growing or flowers, I don't know if you'd have flowers right now, but some people maybe something out there, mums, it, that 26 Sunday night into Monday morning is going to kill everything. That's it. It's going to be over. It's going to kill everything. So keep that in mind. If you've got mums or anything like that out there, they're going to be done for the season. Then we only get up to 40. I'm thinking maybe only 38 or so on Monday. Back down to 23 Monday night into Tuesday morning. So when you get up Tuesday morning, it's going to be like Monday morning, except without the snowflakes. It's just going to be cold. But as you see, we moderate to a high of 50 with high pressure building in and a southwest wind on Tuesday. And then check it out. After that, look at all those 60s and even maybe going back to near 70 by next Saturday, next weekend. So this really big shot of cold air is temporary. It's just a one-shot deal that's not going to last. As you can tell, it's not going to stay with us, which I think is a good thing, because we're not quite ready for winter. And I know some of you have already started putting up your Christmas decorations. Friends of mine have their trees up. I think we may do ours this weekend. We usually, right around Veterans Day, we put up our tree and Christmas decorations. Everybody's got their own when to do it. There's no real rules, you know. I know we gripe about how soon the department stores, shopping centers and stuff put up their Christmas stuff, but they know it's coming. So, you know, it's whatever makes you happy. If putting up a tree right now, tonight, tomorrow, this weekend, makes you happy, makes you feel good, do it. If you want to leave it up all year, do it. Who cares? I mean, somebody may say, oh, Lee, I wish they'd take them Christmas lights down. Christmas is over, you know, and you drive by their house and you're like, why don't they take those things? Just let them be. You know, this world has too much butting in on other people's stuff. We need to just let people be people and just do what they do, okay? When it comes to that sort of thing. If you want to leave your Christmas lights up in your tree all year long, hey, you're not going to hear anything from me. I'm not gonna gripe about it. But we may put ours up this weekend just because it's going to get cold and you start to get that feeling. And then after you do that, you want to start, you know, baking pies and good stuff to eat. You start thinking about Thanksgiving and family, and it's just that cozy, you know, feeling. And you put lights up and the lights are just beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that. So if anybody tells you you're crazy for doing that, just tell them to buzz off. Tell them I said to buzz off. Let's see if that works. Probably will not. All right, you guys, I'm done. Thank you for watching. Have a good day tomorrow because it's going to be sunny and 70 before the polar plunge comes for Sunday and the snowflakes fly. God bless you, and thank you for watching.